I want to take just a moment to reiterate and to clarify once again the events of that day, November the 22nd, 1963. Let me point out that the information that I'm about to give you is not new. It's precisely the information I recalled and related in a television interview from a hospital bed in Dallas on November the 27th, 1963, just a few days following the assassination. It's precisely the way I related it to the Warren Commission in my testimony before that body. It's also precisely the way it has been recalled by me in interviews since that time. That commission, Senator Richard B. Russell, Senator John Sherman Cooper, Representative Hale Boggs, Representative Gerald Ford, Mr. Allen Dulles, and Mr. John J. McCloy are men of unquestioned integrity, of long and devoted service to this nation, men whose dedication to the task of seeking truth in these circumstances I would never question, and men whose patriotism has been manifested so many times in so many ways over such a long period of time that I think it's time that we pause and reflect. That was my testimony before the commission. The thought occurred to my mind then because of the rapidity of the shots. Nothing has occurred since then to lend any credence to it whatever. But as a matter of fact, I also testified before the commission, as I recall, and I haven't reviewed that testimony, that my first impression was that it was either one or more persons or someone with an automatic rifle because of the rapidity of the shots. But this was a fleeting thought that went through my mind.
You think it was the same person who fired the first shot and then who shifted targets and hit you with the second shot?
That is the finding of the commission, and I have no reason whatever to question it.
Well, in your opinion, the man who used gun, and you know how long it takes to shift from one target to another, do you believe that it was the same person who shifted targets in that approximate 1/2 second or less?
Well, I think it was more than half a second between the shots. I think it was probably almost close to 2 seconds between the time President Kennedy was hit with the first shot and the time I was hit.
I thought like maybe a half a second.
The target was shifting also, wasn't it?
Well, the target was shifting, but the point you have to remember, of course, is that as I stated a moment ago, it's almost impossible to know at what point either of us were hit, as a matter of fact. You can determine with some degree of certainty, I think, when I really began to react from looking at the films, and this is, I think, becomes very apparent in about frame 234. It's less certain when the president began to react because he was behind the highway sign. But either one of us could have been hit sometime before that, as a matter of fact, and it depends on what the human reaction is, and nobody knows precisely how long it would take to react to where it would become visible in a movie film.
Can you estimate now, or can you recall the time spent between the first shot and the third? Do you have any?
Not with any certainty that would be of any value at all. That's correct.
Why the discrepancy?
I don't know. I suppose I may be like their sister publication, Time. I just don't think there's any necessity for it. And life thinks there is, time thinks there isn't. We have a house divided among itself, and I just don't see any new evidence that's available, any new light that'll be cast on it. And I think it does no one any good. It serves no useful purpose to keep banding these things around, trying to attempt to do so, because I think it's an impossible task. And I don't care what kind of a body you constituted. I think you'd have a problem of them taking uncertain things, of them making interpretations and evaluations of their own and forming a conclusion which might or might not agree with the Warren Commission, and then where would you be? You'd just have somebody else's opinion. No, I feel wonderful up to a point. It has nothing to do with this.
You have an offer, yeah?
Well, I wasn't going to get into that till we got off of, since it came up. My doctor told me yesterday afternoon that I do have an ulcer. I'll have to be on a very restricted diet. I have a very, right above my kneecap and the inside of the leg.
Does it bother you?
No, doesn't bother me at all.
Do you still find it necessary to do exercises to strengthen the right side?
I do it, yes.
Is it under doctor's orders?
No, I haven't been under doctor's orders for some time. Yes, sir. No, I really don't think so. I don't think it's in doubt, but what if my wrist had been hit before my chest, I would have known it. It's inconceivable to me that I could have suffered my right to see what was happening. Seeing nothing, I was in the process of turning to my left, and I was struck by a second shot. The third shot struck the president, but did not strike me. I want to make it very clear, however, that simply because I disagree with the Warren Commission on this one detail does not mean that I disagree with the substance of their overall findings. I think the Commission did an outstanding job under very difficult circumstances. It is shocking to me, tragedy, journalistic scavengers such as Mark Lane attempt to impugn the motives of these members individually, cast doubts upon the Commission as a whole, and question the credibility of the government itself. Now, obviously, I think there are certain facts about this assassination that may never be known, and no one, no matter how clairvoyant or how wise, could ever say with finality that would satisfy everybody in this world precisely what happened. And I think we ought to